Hey, this is Truth Time here once again. This time I got my buddy Dr. Truth with me. I'm Professor Proof as usual. We're going to bring the truth to y'all. Dr. Truth, what did you want to tell them today?
Well, I just wanted to kind of prepare the people for the great tribulation, for the tribulation that's to come. I just want to get you all in the mind state and get you all ready for what's going to happen. And I just want to also, first of all, tell you some things that are going to happen during this tribulation time, during the time of tribulation. And it'll all be in the Bible if you don't believe me. It'll all be there. And not only will it all be in the Bible, but you're going to see it as it comes to pass. So let's first talk about the earthquakes and the famine, which we see is going on today. I remember in one of our previous episodes, I talked about that hunger went up 5% within the last, hunger went up 43%. How big of a number that is. And I mentioned that. 43, I said 5%. Now look, 43% in the last 5 years. And that's only in the America, in the United States. And I mean, that's a large number over a 5-year time scale, 5-year period. So I just want to also talk about the earthquakes. As we can see, there was a major earthquake in Haiti, a major earthquake in Chile. There's earthquakes in China.
California.
There's earthquake, right. There's earthquakes going on.
That was a 7.0 on the Richter
Yeah, I
scale?
think it was a 7.0. I think it was. That's what they said. Earthquakes happening all over. But I want to talk about some deeper things. I want to talk about some things that the Bible say when hail, giant balls of hail. I'm talking not golf size. We're used to hail's about that big, the size of golf balls. I'm talking about giant size hail coming from heaven. I want to talk about the sun when it dims down and the moon doesn't shine anymore. And I also want to talk about in the Bible when it says that how the sun will come down and rays from the sun will begin to scorch and kill men. I want to talk about how he says that the seas will turn into blood and all the living things in the sea will die. Things like that. I want to talk about how in the tribulation where if you receive the mark of the beast, if you receive that mark, you can either receive it in your right hand or in your forehead. When you receive that mark, you are destined for hell. When you receive the mark, you are marked with Satan. Just like when in Revelation, the 7th chapter, when it talks about God's peoples receiving the mark in their foreheads, they were sealed with the mark of God. When you receive the mark of the beast, you are sealed with the mark of Satan. And you're destined to spend an eternal life in hell. You're destined. So I just want to let people know we have to get ready for these things. We have to get ready.
What?
We have to. We must get ready for the end time. When man will start to turn away from God and blaspheme God. Well, like I say, when fire will come from heaven and kill men, when the two witnesses will begin to prophesy in the promised land or in Israel, when the two witnesses begin to prophesy and men will try to kill them and they will blow fire from their mouth and kill anybody who comes in their path, who tries to kill them. When they have the power to make it rain, the power to turn water into blood, what are we going to do? We need to get ready. And now I'm going to let Professor Proof add some light into this.
Yeah, guys. As Doctor said, the mark of the beast. Now that's a touchy subject because a lot of people don't believe that. But let me show you how it's going to be done. Well, let me tell you. It's going to be a small chip that goes in your right hand or your right arm and in your forehead. And it's going to be a chip that does everything for you. Because, I don't know if you guys watch the news. Some of you may watch the news. But the U.S. is in so much debt. It's in trillions of dollars in debt. There's no way that they can get out. No matter how many budget plans Obama, stimulus plans Obama sets, we're not going to get out of debt. So what they're going to do is they're going to merge. It's going to be Canada, Mexico, and America. And there's going to be a new kind of currency called the America. Now, if you guys do your research on that, y'all know what I'm talking about. Basically, the mark is just a small Verichip. It's going to be an international ID. They're going to do away with the paper money, credit cards, everything. And they're going to be, hey, we got this new idea. Why don't we just cut out the middleman? We're going to have a chip that does everything for you. You can buy with this chip, sell with this chip. You don't need no passport, no social security card. Everything is going to be on this one little chip. And let me tell you how it connects to the Bible. It's the mark of the beast. It's the 666. Because they're going to tell you put it in your arm or in your forehead. It's some crazy people out there already got the chip, to be honest. They didn't chip their whole families. Just for security reasons. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the phone company Verizon is hosting it, or they're loaning money just to support this Verichip. I think it's called a Verichip. You can also find the name RFID chip. Do your research, y'all. I mean, this stuff is real, and it's coming to America, whether we want to accept it or not. People don't have to believe us, but we're just regular young men trying to tell the truth, trying to spread the truth. We ain't trying to be malicious on YouTube or tell lies. We're not crazy. We got common sense, you know. We just trying to spread the truth because, you know, just a couple of years ago, I was crazy. And I wasn't even worried about none of this. But then my eyes slowly but surely got opened up to this truth. And then I even brought my buddy along, you know, because at first he didn't want to believe me about the Illuminati and all that stuff. But then he did research, and I'm telling you, this man, he was diligent in his research. He was diligent. He studied every day. He was calling me, telling me things I didn't even know.
Oh, thank you, Professor.
So that's all I encourage people to do. Do the research, find the answers for yourself. Because the answers are out there. And people say, well, there's really nothing you can do. It's going to happen regardless. Yeah, I mean, it's still a chance. Don't just go out like no punk. You know, don't just get, well, it's going to happen. Don't be no punk about it. Be real about it, you know. Show some heart. Do the research and know what's coming. Spread the truth to other people. I may not be able to reach the people that you can, you know. So learn this truth and you spread it. Hear what I'm telling you and you spread it to other people, you know.
And, you know, I just wanted to say, I'm going to give you a parable to help you understand this. In this tribulation, I want to tie in what we've been talking about with God. I want to tell you how you can, first, before I do that, let me tell you, during this tribulation time, the mark of the beast, if you accept it, like I say, you've been marked and you're destined for hell. Your fate's already been written. You're destined for hell. But if you choose not to accept that mark, there's a chance you can make it. And during the tribulation, like I say, we're barely going to make it. As a matter of fact, in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, it says that the righteous is barely saved. The righteous is barely going to make it through the saved folks. The people who you see in Sunday claiming that they saved, they barely going to make it. And then he said, so where do you think the ungodly going to stand? Where can they go? So what I'm telling you is, if you want to make it through this tribulation, because the plagues or the wrath that's going to be released during the tribulation will only be released on the unsaved or those who do not believe in God. This mark of the beast will only be given to those who don't believe in God. This chip that you're talking about, Professor, this chip. And you're absolutely right in what you say. Everything the professor said, he's accurate in. And that's the mark of Satan. When you receive that, you know. And there's only one way you could make it without getting the chip. There's only one way.
We'll continue this in part 2.
That's right.